Yeah. First of all, everybody, thank you. Welcome back to PT SporeCast. And we've got the guys from PsyTimes Magazine, Weighed and Hyphal Mind with us today. Uh, Thanks everybody who's in the audience live with us. Feel free to add any questions in the chat. If you do, just make sure you at me, please, so I can try to, write them down and keep track of them. Um, that way everybody else can just kind of pay attention to the conversation and we can keep things flowing. Um, yeah, welcome guys. Thanks for.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us. Sorry, I muted my mic.
Absolutely. I'm Wade, PsyTimes Magazine. I was outside of the magazine, patient loving boyfriend, everyday run of the mill degenerate mushroom farmer for about 11 years now. I'm 33, started when I was 18. Very fortunate to travel all over the place doing that. Getting into mycology wise, we left the wedding party and me and a friend and a couple of girls went to the river and ate a bag of mushrooms, and ran around under the moon, and kind of the rest is history after that. I'm really interested in medicine, so started cultivating. Started perlite. It's just fascinating. Wasn't really too serious at that time. Just old school tech.
Yeah,
Other
some
than
OG techs, huh?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's evolved so much since then with everybody. It's kind of weird.
When did you realize that you're pretty hooked into the growing side, the cultivation side of things?
Yeah, I was probably 26 years old about that time. So out of my 10-year career in telecom construction, I did own a company for about till COVID hit and all the work dried up. And I got bored and some tubs and did my research on, dmtworld.net and a few little YouTube videos out there and learned how to do corn tech and, CVG and buckets and stuff, which ain't much changed since then on that note. But I got really pretty serious with it, and a lot of people in my community, they appreciated what I was doing, and, stick with it. That's been it. And I just haven't. I, yeah, just love the community as a whole. Been growing for 11 years. I've only been on Discord and with people on Instagram and stuff for about a year. That belonged to me because didn't really talk to anybody about it. People out here via Discord
Really?
and Instagram. People you can
That's
connect with. I thought that was really cool.
yeah, that's super cool. So before.
Not, not really, man. I think I found most of my beginning information on just YouTube and just looking around on YouTube. Like the pinnacle of me learning a lot of that corn tech and stuff. And, just setting up my first tubs that I did and all that. He was a big part of that. So try and dig out and find those videos on YouTube. But that's been 7 or 8 years. Many heroic doses and many other long nights as well. So I remember his name. Forgive me on that.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Man, first I witnessed cultivation. So I was 6, and it was the first time I seen mushroom cultivation. I thought that was way cool, and that's where the seed got for sure.
Nice. Um, well, where does this SciTimes story start? Is it like you met Hyphal or before
Not
that or
not particularly. No. I think he's in the audience actually.
Maybe
Man,
before that.
it was Matt. Matt was the one who inspired that exactly. Azurian Circle Society. He was just really taking wonderful High Times magazine photos of the fruits that were also. I was like, High Times magazine popped into my head. It's one of those spur of the moment, jumped on it, did it things. Filed a LLC, damn real company. I have a little background in creating a company as it is, so I just went and did it fully legit. the rest is history. We were all going to be partners starting that out, and it just didn't quite go as planned. I would love to get things back on track in the future, but everybody's got their things going right now. I'm sure if it's good with graphic, big thing. I think I'm glad. This was about October of last year. It was whenever I did the
Okay.
trademark and filed the company LLC and all that stuff. So it needs to get more traction. We need to get more people aware of what we're working on, what we're trying to do, achieve with it. Still in its infancy, it needs to get more traction. We need to get more people aware of what we're working on, what we're trying to do, achieve with it. I think it could grow into something, but as long as it stays as a passion project, I think it'll grow slowly and steadily into the thing that I can see it in my mind's eye as.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess well, let's start there. Let's what does your mind's eye see for this project? Like what are you aiming for?
Uh, well, where was it? I made some notes for this question exactly, but I didn't have the question above the notes, so I'm kind of fumbling through these things. I'm not a public speaker by any means, so
Hey,
give me
you're all
just a
good.
moment here. Yeah.
That's a
What I really want this thing to be is a platform for the community. I really like to spotlight the cultivators. I like to spotlight artists. I like to spotlight vendors, activists, event organizers, things of that nature. It's just a platform, for the community. It's for the culture, pun intended. So um, I wanted to grow over the next few years into something that could possibly be a job for me and a few other partners, full time. If we could get it to where it had a good following, and maybe we could actually hit the printing press and make physical copies and have some subscribers for that. I think that could be rewarding.
Yeah, I think that was going to be my next question is a goal down the road for like, hard copy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. The vision is to provide a platform for the culture, pun intended. Personally, I like to spotlight cultivators and new creations, strains and vendors trying to make their career for themselves. There's a lot of cool people out there that are trying to sell the all-in-one bags. They're selling sterilized grain, cultures and stuff, just doing what they believe in. But it's going to be a space for journalists, biologists, activists, artists, and free thinkers. It's the underground at the surface, and I think it's a big part of it for me is freedom of press, not like the big nationalism. That's something people freedom of press
Yeah, that's cool.
to keep a hold of.
So so what are some things right now? You've got a couple of issues, right? Or yeah, you've got a couple of
We got
issues out.
we got three of them out, man. The biggest struggle right now is getting the content compiled. It's me reaching out to the people I admire, the work that they do that I appreciate, and saying, "Hey, would you guys like to do this?" And a lot of people are supportive of what I'm working on. They send me cool pictures and cool articles, advertise the companies that they're doing for themselves. That's been the mass of the content that goes into these magazines so far. Is that
Yeah, it's cool. I wonder, like, so for me, right, personally, if I see, like an ad, hey, we want content and all this stuff for this magazine, because I've seen it before. And it's something that, as a cultivator, I'm not, a vendor or whatever. And this podcast is kind of a newer thing. So it's hard for me to wrap my head around exactly what this even is. But like, it feels um, like it's maybe I'm not the right person to reach out about, yeah, hey, I've got some content or whatever. Is it something that like just kind of you're looking for anybody who's just passionate about what they're doing and has cool pictures, or are you
um,
aiming for certain people?
no, absolutely. This is anybody can get involved. So I'm talking from your beginning cultivators. It's really just like kind of the criteria for the photos that's important because we are trying to make some quality content. I don't want just, a random picture with 30 bedroom floor in the background. We like put a backdrop on, make sure it's high quality photo. Of course, we want to see nice canopies and stuff. I've really been wanting to showcase all the new creations because that's something that's just exploded in the past couple of years. all that.
Can you repeat that? You wanna show the what?
Showcase the new phenoms and the new creations that people are making,
New
all the new
Fina.
strains. Yeah, I think that's something really cool. It's a good place to showcase that stuff instead of like digging through all the servers on Discord and seeing what people are creating stuff. If we can just like showcase them in the magazine, like, hey, this is a new strain that came out last month from XYZ cultivators, breeders. I think that would be
Yeah.
a good place for that.
Yeah, it's super cool, and I like the idea. Something you said earlier about articles and stuff like that. Having a space where you got some cool pictures to look at, and then you got cool articles to read and stuff like that. Are there people that you've reached out to? I haven't had a chance to like really go through them, the issues that you've had, but I've gone through them a little bit. But just maybe talk about like who you're looking for, like articles and stuff like that from.
Man, sure, some of y'all are familiar with him. His name's Dennis Walker. Does great satire and he's also a very intelligent person. He has actually contributed a little something to every edition so far. So big shout out to he goes by Micropreneur. You might be following on
Oh
Instagram as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's been awesome and supportive of the project that we're working on. So super thankful for him. Hyphal also has written some really cool stuff up. Gooch lit us up something one at a time. Remember who was it? Man,
So
articles is I'm not a writer. I'm not a journalist. I had this idea. So I hold the vision for the project more than anything. So those are things that we need promoters. We need journalists. That graphic design. Those are things that are not in my wheelhouse. So we're still doing.
still growing, still looking for those people and hoping to find some. So that's good for any of the listeners. Feel free to reach out to Weighed or Hyphal and get in contact if you're interested in getting involved with any of those things.
Please.
Um, so speaking of Hyphal, how does that come into play? So you guys are doing this together. What's I don't know. How did you guys meet up, and how did this kind of team form up around it? Or
So I I believe he said around October is when he got the idea started this. I want to say it was around January, February. I first saw it on Instagram, like a little post on it, and I'm like, that's freaking awesome. And then I started thinking, and I'm like, why hasn't anyone ever thought of this name for this magazine, or even thought of doing something like this with that specific names? Because we got PsyTimes Magazine, right? Why is there no one's thought of PsyTimes Magazine? So huge kudos to Weighed, and I didn't know that little background with Matt as well. That's awesome. But yeah, I saw something on Instagram, and I reached out, and I'm like, hey, I'm in love with this culture, Paha Crown. I can write up an article how I started working with it and up to this point, And he's like, yeah, send it right over. So I sent the article over, some pictures. We just started chatting, and he offered to join on in. I think 10% or something like that.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like, yeah, man, this is awesome. And not too long before this, I came across the Shroomski magazine. I think some people might be familiar with Shroomski. I think they're based out of Denver, but they do a quarterly magazine, a printed one as well. That, yeah, it was a pretty cool magazine. And I'm like, I would love to be a part of this new magazine that no one has not even thought of this name until recently. So I was like, I want to jump in on this. And luckily, well, not luckily, it took me 28 years to get to finish school, but I had just finished not too long ago, and writing has become a forte. And I don't know, I enjoyed writing my papers in the classes like that I was passionate about going to school for, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, I've been pushing out a couple articles. This next one coming out, wrote something up about the possible entourage effect of the mushrooms. Not like psilocybin's cool, but there's other alkaloids as well that dance all together. It's still not proven like THC or marijuana has, you know what I mean? But it'll get there. Not all this trials and research has like gone full steam ahead. And I want to say, I think, sorry, I'm getting off track. Sorry, I'm going off track. Read the article.
Read the article. Fair. So this is all online, right? This is at a website.
Yeah, you can find all this at PsyTimesMagazine.com. Absolutely. Are you talking about the article?
Goal definitely printed. But I like that it's a marathon, not a sprint, to get that done.
Yeah, I feel that. I think that's something we can relate to with this podcast. It's the entire thing is a process, and it's a learning process, and you kind of grow with it. So I can totally relate to exactly what you're talking about with that.
Yeah.
So when do your issues come out? Like, how often are they released?
I'm shooting for bi-monthly releases. It's a little bit of a struggle, just gathering up the content for them. It's not even a big magazine. I shoot for 30 to 40 pages, and it seems like a harassment to the people when I got to bother with this content. So that's a big part of wanting to get on here today and just spread some awareness about what we're doing. Is maybe want people to submissions at PsyTimesMagazine.com, dude. Email us anything you got. Cool pictures, articles, artwork, event announcements, anything you got pertinent to the culture. And don't be shy to send that stuff over. We need the help to fill these pages up, I'd like it to be an honorary thing, like if you were a grower in the 70s and High Times Magazine reached out to you about wanting to feature what you're working on, that would be kind of an honor to feel that. I want people to get that same sense of pride about, being a part of this magazine. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think it's cool. Go ahead.
Did we just do what we said we weren't going to do? Sorry.
We're trying. No, we're trying, dude. It's good. There's several of us talking. Go ahead, my Hyphal.
Yeah. Something else. Piggyback off of Weighed on some content stuff. I mean, it's called PsyTimes Magazine. It's not only mushrooms. Like if there's someone passionate about cacti and they want to showcase that, let's do it. Let's see it. Someone wants, I don't know why, the tour or something like that. Write it up. Let's see it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just not only mushrooms. I know we're all mostly just mushroom heads, but even foraging.
Yeah, foraging. That would be cool. There's a lot of guys I see on Instagram, posting photos and super cool foraging stuff. Hyphal, you've got some cool stuff foraging up in the mountains up there.
Yeah, porcinis are in season.
Hell yeah.
They're big.
So as Weighed, you were mentioning before like photo requirements. Do you have those listed? Is like that's a easily accessible thing for, when somebody goes on to submit things, they know kind of the requirements of photos?
Yeah. I try to drop out a little flyer every month or so on the Instagram. If you're not following us, just go give us a follow. PsyTimes Magazine on Instagram, and it's got some criteria on there, man. Just high quality photos, no foreign objects in the background, anything like that. We like to, have a backdrop there, put a little curtain up or a muslin or whatever you want to call it, and, some fabric behind it. Just kind of really showcase the fruit. Nothing too excessive in the background. It makes it a lot more clean for the magazine presentation.
Yeah, that's fair. One thing I can add to that, like Amazon, I got a photo box from Amazon. It's a little bit bigger of one, so I can fit like a full shoe box or even a 15-quart tub. I can fit in there. But there's smaller ones, if you just want to take pictures of individual fruits and whatnot. it is a good way to completely change the game with the photos you take
Yeah.
of your mushrooms. But yeah, like or whatever it is you're taking photos of, I guess. Yeah,
And
Matt takes
I
some.
bought one of those.
You did?
I bought one. If I used it, it would add another hour, 2 hours to a harvest. I already take a lot of
Yeah,
photos.
yeah.
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 It definitely adds to it for sure. But that's part of the fun. It's like taking a lot of pride in what you're doing. At least for myself, taking pride in what you're doing, appreciating what it is that you're cultivating, and then going farther and putting it into a magazine or posting it wherever we're posting it and doing all that stuff to kind of share that with others. I think that's cool. And the magazine is another way to do that. Um,
To bounce off
yeah,
what Michael was saying, I think it is a great idea. Anybody that's doing cactus or anything related to psychedelics in general, within the bounds of legality, feel free to send that type of stuff over to it. It's correct. It's not just for mushrooms, it's the whole culture as a whole. So don't be shy about sharing anything if it's not mushroom related specifically.
yeah, definitely. Cactus is one of those things that kind of really goes with the mushroom cultivation hand in hand. And there's some super cool cacti out there. Um,
I just got
so
my first seeds for some peyote actually. I'm trying to drop me some button.
you got your first seeds for what did you say for peyote?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm excited to get those started.
Nice. Yeah, they're fun. That's a long grow.
I know. I'm a patient man. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
hell yeah. So, well, let's go back to like mycology things. What are some things that you have as projects right now?
All right. Matter of fact, I got a few sitting right here in front of me because I know I wasn't going to remember everything. Got some really cool mons. I got a few of them from back in the day. Got a few from old Mad Hatter. Let's see what I'm working on. I'm trying to do this new tote. It's new pussy times tote, mon, and I got some ropes coming off of that. I got
Nice.
some Yeti times tote, mon cross that I got throwing ropes, just kind of waiting on some knots to show up or some plans. I got Dundee times Yeti. Not really picked out any cool names for these things yet. But just kind of seeing what they're doing on the plate. What's another cool one I got? One I already have created that I'm fruiting already is a Steel Yeti, which is a Steel Magnolia times Yeti. It ain't throwing anything massive fruits wise, but the canopies are okay and the fruits are pretty and they're rock solid. I do like that. So I got a few little crosses.
That's awesome. So you were mentioning earlier that you've been getting into crosses and whatnot. Kind of what's your I guess I want to dive more into you and your cultivation experience and like what you got going on. So what is it about crossing that kind of has you drawn to it?
Well, because I would like to become a vendor one day, and not to say talking trash with anybody. Like if you want to do an isolate and sell it and call it your own, that's fine. That's cool. That's the way the culture's going right now. But me personally, if I'm going to vend, I'm going to have like 10 or 12 of my own process that I created. Like this is Wade Michael's exclusive land. So I think that's just my attitude.
That's fair. And what do
Yeah.
you for crossing? What do you were talking about um, and I like that. What do you like? What's your go-to? I guess there's some people that are die hard mon diamonds. Some
I
what's your
I
process?
just, I'm sorry. I just started doing some diamond crosses after a little talk with Hyphal about it. Man, you just build a fence of the mon around the dicaryon, and if that dicaryon hops over the fence of the mon and you start getting some plins over in the mon growth, you pretty much have a verified, diamond creation that you did there. And I also seen a cool ass video. I think it was Matt ACS just did one. He was talking about taking a little square out of the Mon and replacing that square with a square about that same size of the dicaryon. I thought that's a really cool way to do it too. I'll definitely be giving that a go here soon. So, but
Yeah, that's an interesting way to go about it. I haven't seen that
is,
before.
yeah. It's mainly just surround the dikaryon with the monokaryon. If it pops up out there in the monokaryotic field of growth, then you're pretty like you're on track to having a new creation. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, no, I get it. It does make sense.
Here's one I'm doing right now, and it's a new pussy monokaryon. I got it fenced back by it's a new pussy dikaryon. I got a chota squat dikaryon. Just kind of waiting on something to pop up on the other side of that fence of monokaryotic growth, and we'll see what happens. I think it could be something cool. Yeah, no, I'm not like an expert when it comes to doing crosses or nothing. It's just stuff I started playing with here over the past 7 or 8 months or so.
So if you've been doing crosses playing with those for like 7 or 8 months, but you've been cultivating for 8 years, or I mean 11 years.
11 years since I did grow my first one, but steadily for about 6 years now. It's kind of been my bread and butter. Turned me into a hermit. I don't really get out of the lab much.
So what are some techs? I mean, you started a while back, and there's a lot. Techs have changed a lot over time. What are some things that you used to do that you do differently now?
I don't know. I tried playing around with additives in my substrate there for a while. Gypsum, and I've just learned over time. Less is more. Just about with everything in life, man. I went back to no additives in my sub, and I get better results. My corn tech is something it took me 6 or 7 years to get down pat where it just don't give me any issues ever. So simple with my grain tech. I've tried to branch out and try with, oats. I've tried branching out doing rye berries, millet, things like that. It's always proved to be a pretty big waste of my time. So I just kind of stick with the corn these days. Once you got something that works for you figured out, stick with it. I think that's a consensus across the board for everybody. Once there's a million different ways to grow, find what works for you. So,
Yeah, it's fair. It is fun to, experiment with things and play around and try different stuff. I think that's part of the allure for me. I like trying new things, but definitely having that core, that base of like, I know this is going to work. Here's a culture I have. I want to make sure this works out. This is the tech I'm going to use. This is the grain I'm going to use. This is how I'm going to do it. Tubs, bags, whatever that is, whatever it is you're comfortable with. I think it's important to know what those things are, but playing around is fun,
It is. And then if I do try new things, I'll keep 70% of my work with what I know works. Dedicate 30% of my real estate, whatever per se, to trying out some new things. That way I'm not ever going to put all my eggs in one basket.
Yeah. So you're saying corn is your staple. I've seen several different techs and whatnot. What's your go-to for corn? Are you using popcorn? Are you using feed corn? Force hydrating, soaking?
Yep.
How do you do it?
I like popcorn. It's readily available, cheap. Get it at the grocery store. Clean. Not half as much washing as required with like feed corn and stuff. And I'll give you this answer. Nothing special. 19 minutes at 15 psi. Depressurize it. String it on. And I jar it hot. I stick with jars because I lived out in the country for so long. I had some mice get into my bags one time, and I just said never again. And once you invest in several hundred glass jars, you don't really want to throw them away, So I don't really mind being efficient. I got some help with that. So I put 1 tablespoon of vermiculite in each jar, and I jar all of that corn hot, like while it's just right out of the cooker as soon as it's depressurized. And all that steam coming off just kind of gets ate up by that tablespoon of vermiculite. Cap it and cook it right afterwards. It's a pretty quick process. 19 minutes, 15 psi. Jar it hot with 1 tablespoon of vermiculite. I have great success with it now. 95 to 100% all the time.
That's cool. Yeah, that sounds like a solid tech. I wonder, as you're talking about that, with your PsyTimes magazine, it seems like a good idea for like a tech section or something. You have that in there
There,
already?
no, man, I've kind of went round and round in my head about that, because like as a magazine and such a young project, I can't really state on our website company that we don't endorse or promote the cultivation of said things without and provide a tech for those people at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'm a little conflicted saying that, hey, we don't promote or endorse or anything like that, but hey, here's a tech also. So I'm a little conflicted on that. And maybe as we grow and get a little more
that's
footing, I'd be more comfortable sharing that type of information, But for now, it's got to be entertainment, education, kind of stick within those boundaries.
so how does that, yeah, so how does that work? I don't know, you legally, or I don't know. You're saying
Well,
it's
legally, it's
entertainment or
freedom of press. So that's the only thing that's really protecting the whole. Because if Instagram can censor stuff because they're their own company and they can decide what's on there, which I think is great about that cultivar. Whoever's running that, kudos to them. Uh, but as like a whole, for just a magazine, me worried about legal problems with that. It's just freedom of press and honesty. Make those statements that on each issue that we're not endorsing or promoting anybody to cultivate. If they really can't.
um oh, we got Pan here just asked you. Um Sorry, I got distracted by a question there. So, yeah, freedom of press. Can you explain that? Like, explain how that works. I mean, give a better explanation of that because I don't know that I fully understand what freedom of press even covers.
It's actually the last page on the first edition of the magazine. It's the First Amendment for our Bill of Rights. We have the freedom of press, freedom of religion, all those good things here. I'll recite it for you. Bookworm or nothing, but recite it for you. Laptop title.
I guess I'm just curious. Like, what is it? Like, there's got to be a line somewhere, right? Or is it? I don't know.
Freedom. Well, yeah, exactly. Like people should be allowed to make a crystal meth, or excuse my French. You know what I mean? Like there is like lines that shouldn't be crossed, I guess, but I don't think we're anywhere near those lines, in my opinion. So,
Oh, here it is. Platy put it in the chat here. Let's see.
yeah.
First Amendment: Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Yeah. I guess I'm not a good American because I don't know the whole First Amendment. God.
I could. That was written hundreds of years ago, and I couldn't recite it word for word. But that's just something I would be holding on to in these times. It seems like they
Yeah,
try to strip a little more freedom away from us every year, and I think it's important to stand on some of
I
these.
agree.
The fundamentals. Like somebody's got to stand up and do something. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
guess I
know.
knew. I guess I knew that was part. Part of it, but I just didn't really register
Yeah. No, a
freedom
magazine
of
is it's
press.
press. You know what I mean? It's not a newspaper, but it is press. Just like people have the right to go out and film anything they want as long as it's not on private property. Whatever, it's press.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No. Interesting. It's something to think about for sure. Um, what are you? So your last issue came out when last month?
It was June. We were trying to shoot for an August release, but I don't quite have half the content I need. So, any listeners out there that you got something you want to have featured, promote your shop, your vending operation, cool strains you're working on, you guys don't be shy about sending that stuff over. The email address is submissions@PsyTimesMagazine.com. We don't discriminate. Send us whatever you got. We'd love to feature you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Submissions at PsyTimesMagazine.com.
I'll drop it in the chat right now. But it's a passion project, It's not like I expected this thing to just blow up overnight or go viral or nothing. It's kind of still an underground thing. So I know it's going to take. It'll take time to get some traction. That's
well, hopefully this helps in some way. Get a couple people, sending you some stuff. Pan, one of our members here in the chat, asked, "Are you guys planning to attend the Cup coming up and maybe do some coverage on it?"
Hyphal, can I answer this question? Are you there, brother?
Yeah, sorry, I was doing something else. What was the question?
They're asking if we're planning on attending the Cup and doing some coverage on it. And you know what that brought to the front of my mind? I've really been excited.
You want to answer that? Yeah,
I want to answer that, guys. We're going to be hosting our own PsyTimes Magazine Mushroom Cup. We're just going to sort out which testing facility we're going to be using. It's going to give people opportunities from all over the world to send in their submissions and be a part of this thing. People that are unable to travel to these states where these cups are being held at the events and things like that. It's going to be a little more low cost of a entry fee, and I think I want to make it affordable for everybody and more accessible for everybody. So we'll give some more details on that as things pan out. I think it could be a lot of fun, more inclusive. There's a lot of people that travel to Colorado, so I think it's a good time to talk about it. Absolutely. So
yeah, hell yeah, that sounds super cool. So let's hear more about that. So you'd have people send in. I don't know. Yeah, tell me how that works through a magazine. They don't have to travel somewhere and.
Yeah, no, we're just going to call it the PsyTimes Magazine official Mushroom Cup. We'll try to do it annually or biannually. I'm shooting to have Triptomics host all the testing for them. We're trying to get into contact with these guys and making sure it's something that they want to be involved with. If not, we have a couple other people that are capable of doing some testing as well. But if it turns out like we want to, it's going to be hundreds, maybe thousands of samples that get sent in over a 3-month period from people all over the world. Whoever gets involved, whoever we do have handle the testing, we just want to make sure that it's something that they can handle. They have the bandwidth for, and transparency as well.
And you would have a section posted in your magazine of results and different. So what would some categories be? What are some ideas you have for different categories of grows? And
probably wouldn't be too different from any of the other cups. Land race, mutants, cubes, pans, extracts, things like that. Pretty much, we'll just have all the same categories everybody else is running. Just want to make sure
I'm curious. So I'm not huge into the testing and the cups. I'm not too privy on all that already. So I don't know all that. So what I'm curious about is one thing I remember seeing and noticing in the world of, sorry if you guys can hear my dogs barking. In the world of marijuana and testing and THC, this race for the highest potency shit, I'm curious, kind of where this stands with other alkaloids. Hyphal was talking about other stuff being present and it having an effect on mushrooms and how they work. So, yeah, are you thinking you might have categories that are not just most potency? Yeah, not just highest potency, but highest something else or.
I think that's a discussion that we would have to carry on with the actual testing facilities. What are they capable of getting an analysis on? because like I totally, we're all aware that there's multiple other alkaloids in the mushroom than just psilocybin. And they all do have an effect. So I think that's still an unfolding frontier, in my opinion. I think as time progresses, we'll probably get more facilities or service providers out there that are going to be able to actually get analysis on those types of things. I don't think it's now is going to be the time to be, determining first, second, third place winners of certain alkaloids that we don't have capabilities of testing yet. So I think we'd probably just kind of stick with what everybody else is running so far, mainly the psilocybin and the other basic ones that they're, getting out there.
It's fair. Yeah, it's fair. Get it started and then work on getting it perfect.
Yeah. So we had an Oklahoma psychedelic conference I participated in a couple of years back. It was managed by a guy named Jacob that did the Oklahoma Fun Guy. And I don't know why it got shut down. We were supposed to have a Oklahoma Mushroom Festival a little bit later that year, and it just got shut down for some reason. It bummed a lot of people out, saddened me pretty well too. And I think something like this project, that's really no physical event that everybody has to show up at or anything. It's kind of going to be a full on, you got to trust us to have transparency and then choose the right facility to do the testing. There ain't nobody going to be getting favored. And it's not even about who's best out here, dude. It's just about everybody participating in the culture and being a part of something. I mean, I don't know who's got the strongest mushroom, dude. Just grow the best you can, do the best you can.
Yeah, I think that's important. It seems like something you carry through everything you've talked about so far is just community stuff and wanting people to be able to be involved with each other and grow together. I think that's super cool and honorable in the space. I like that.
Thank you. Also, I just think affordability as well, like some of the costs that people are asking to participate in some of these things. I think we can get that down. And there's probably some people growing some way stronger mushrooms out there that are just like, hell no, I'm not paying that to get my stuff entered into this cup for whatever. Like a lot of us guys, we're not rich folks, man. We're humble people that live very simple lives just like everybody else. And we would like to participate in some of these things, but maybe we got a phone bill or an electric bill that we can't pay. So it's like, I want it to be affordable and more inclusive. I think that's important. So.
For me, someone that has absolutely no idea, what do you think affordable looks like for sending in for a cup?
Really questionable. I
guess I don't know what it even is currently. So, I don't know what things currently are or what they could be. So I guess that's why I ask.
I think Hyphal,
So
why don't you chime in on that one? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
One thing Triptomics out of Denver does with their cup, they do annually every November. They aren't the ones that actually put on the Psychedelic Cup event in Denver. It's kind of 50-50 actually, probably, with the Psychedelic Club of Colorado helping out Triptomics by putting on this event for them, and then they do all the testing. And I believe right now the regular full alkaloid makeup testing, even which they do for the cup, is about $120, $120, $130, something like that. But because of the psychedelic, the Colorado Psychedelic Club, and kind of fronting some money, they're able to have it cheaper for us to submit mushrooms to the cup, and that's like $90. So whatever testing facility we go with, they're not going to want to do it for free. They're going to want some money up front too, and then whatever is left for whoever's making the submission to pay, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. And then you're not having people pay for I don't know, travel and like extra fees that pay for some big event and all that stuff. It's kind of just
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. I hope that pans out, and if it does, I would probably enter something just to see,
Yeah. I remember PsyTimes Magazine did something. I don't know if it got followed through with or not. They were hosting a cup similar to this. I want to say they were asking $300 for a submission. I'm 99.9% sure that's what they were asking for.
That's a little outrageous.
But yeah, it's not. It won't be like that.
Yeah, that feels high. It feels like yeah. Because I feel like a lot of, well, I don't know, personally, I would want to enter something just to, like, I don't know, see where it's at and kind of compare it to other things, because it's not like I'm testing everything I cultivate, right? I would just have something and be like, I kind of want to see where this lands on the scale versus other things. But like, that's the only purpose, right? And for me to fork out $300 just for that knowledge, that feels like a lot. Like, the payoff isn't just knowing what the content of everything is, because realistically too, every grow can be different. It's not always going to be like that same potency, right?
Yes, correct. Even from flush to flush, you could have some differences.
Yeah. So like $300 feels like a lot, but I don't know. I think that's a fucking awesome idea, and I hope that goes through. That would be sweet. And as long as it's something
For sure.
affordable, I would definitely see what I could do about joining in. And
Yeah. I'm thinking something like cost of the testing plus like a $10, $15, $20 entry fee. That way we can put together some sort of prize for the winning, whether that be, a flow hood or, some lab equipment or package genetics or whatever, the medals, trophies, things like that. There's going to be a little prize for whoever wins.
yeah, having some trophies and stuff, that'd be cool. So, or plaques or something easy to mail, right? Something you could mail out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sick idea. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, what else? You got any other stuff you guys want to hit on for this magazine?
Man, I don't know. I had an answer for every question you sent me in the DMs earlier, but I think we about covered it all. Really, I just got like some shout outs to people, man. Everybody that's contributed to this thing. I just want to make sure I'm paying my homage and saying thank you to everybody who's believed in the project. Really, that's about it. I got a lot of them. I figured I was going to close out with that. So, yeah,
well,
man.
Yeah, let's show some love, brother.
Yeah, Moon Daddy, one and only micropreneur, Dennis. Thank you very much. Hyphal, my partner, solid as they come. Basidium Equilibrium, what an OG. Mr. Mad Hatter, Cluster Duck, Zerk over at Brown Treasure, Trip Comics, Oklahoma Fungi, miss you, brother. Hope you're doing well. OKC Organics, Q, What the Fungi, and all the Aussie boys out there, all the BDG homies, Spore Daddy, Spore Work, Black Force Cultures, Mycological, what's up? Matt, ACS, hope you're doing well, man. Keep it up. Fungus Frequency, Colorado Cultures, Broke Boy Mycology, Dickie over at White Rabbit, Gooch, Mana from Heaven was a huge inspiration for me. Just amazing bro photos. If you ain't following Mana from Heaven, I don't think he's doing much cultivation photos these days, but if you were catching him in his prime, dude, that guy was dropping the sickest. Lucky Ranch Learning Labs, Dark Matter Mycology, Fungi, Oh Nest, that is Nest if y'all know on there. Full Canopy Genetics. I think I about hit them all there, man. Thank all you guys for your contributions to the magazine. It's been really fun, and I'm looking forward to many more issues in the future. So keep them coming.
Oh yeah, those are some good shouts and some awesome people to have contributing. Yeah, one more time. Let's give everybody your site and your Instagram, any kind of socials.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop them in here in the chat, but you can find our issues on PsyTimesMagazine.com or lowercase no space. If you're interested in contributing, just send an email to submissions@PsyTimesMagazine.com. That's the email. I think I dropped it in there. I'll put it in again. Our Instagram is just @PsyTimesMagazine. also my personal cultivation is just Weighed Myco _. I think I can drop a link on there. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys having us on. It's been an honor, and much appreciate the opportunity to come and spread some awareness about what we're doing.
Oh yeah, no, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you guys coming to chat about it
Yeah.
and breaking the news about trying and hopefully getting a little cup of your own going. That'd be fucking sweet. Look forward to hearing news about that. And I'll try to get some stuff together and maybe work with P and we'll work on getting something to you guys to add in there, some content for the magazine.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks for coming on with us. Everyone in the audience, thank you guys again for joining us live and contributing and just being here with us, man. We really appreciate you guys showing up and you know doing this with us. It's something I'm grateful for, that I get to talk to all these people and learn with you guys. It's super grateful for it. Anybody listening, on Spotify or whatever platform after this, feel free to look us up, reach out to any of us on Instagram. Platty, man, Platty, what's your, hope you're there right now. What's your Instagram, Platty?
Yeah, I'm here. I stayed muted because my mic's messing up, and plus I just prefer listening. But yeah, my Insta, I don't know, I've got a couple at the minute. Obviously we got the PT Sport Car, which Instagram. Then there's Psycho Platty, and then I think there's Platty _PT and PT _Platty. So there is a few because they keep getting nuked. But yeah, we're working on some other things as well. I just wanted to mention, we've got I'm working on an app at the moment with, which hopefully will take over what we're doing here on Discord with a lot more security for us. And also it'll be mycology based. So it's going to be called Hyphy. The beta should be out by the end of next week. So I'm hoping everyone in here and part of PT will be a part of it to test it so we can make it as best we can. I just want to thank you for coming on, Weighed and Hyphal, because I think what you're doing with the magazine is fucking epic, and I think it's what the community needs. To just it just gives, no matter what branch of all of this stuff that we're in, whether you're breeding or whether you're a vendor or just somebody growing, it just gives everybody the opportunity to come together and see what's going on, and I absolutely love it. I was going to reach out and see whether we can do a section in PT where, as soon as your magazine goes up and it's out each bi-monthly, wasn't it? We'll do like a category or a channel in PT where we post them up every time they come out. Just spread that love a bit more.
That would be awesome. That would be an honor. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. What else? What do we got going on in PT right now, P? We've got our Platty, our Platty grow coming up.
There's a
starting.
grow along, yeah.
Yeah, we've got our Halloween grow along going. So I think cultures have mostly been sent out for that. I've got a stack of them actually that I have to send out to everybody on the West. So it's going.
UK ones are going out this week.
Nice.
And then I think, we've got this one, obviously the Halloween. I think the Machete one's just coming to an end now. We've got the Maplati one, like you mentioned. Trying to think what else is going on. We've got a super long episode of PT SporeCast, which will be dedicated to cultivar. So that'll be 90second to be doing a takeover. So it'll be a 3-hour long episode. If you want to listen to 90second, and me and Unassuming are going to be there as well. That's going to be, I think, last Friday of every month is the plan. That's what we're working on at the moment. And I think there's also going to be a PT cross cultivar, sort of like a weekly podcast, which I've just been speaking to Blue about. So it would just be like a shoot the shit kind of thing where people jump in, and I don't know. I think Mike C is planning on hosting one along with Q, and yeah, so there's loads. There's so much.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, guys, and we appreciate everybody that's a part of any of it. And like I said, anybody listening, hit us up on one of these socials, or can find us in Discord, and feel free to join up in Platypus Technical Discord and to keep up on all this stuff, see what's going on. But again, thank you guys for joining us and sharing your time with us to talk about the magazine. And again, thanks to the audience for joining in, and anyone listening in the future. We appreciate you guys.
And just to finish off,
thanks.
we've got Mike C is our next guest as well. So that'll be a good one. That's next Saturday.
That's right. Next Saturday we have you coming on. We've got the schedule posted up in PT as well. So, and we'll put everything out on Instagram as weeks prior and whatnot. So stay in touch, stay involved. Let's grow together. Yeah. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you coming on.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys.
thanks.
Y'all have a good one now.
Peace.
Take care, everyone.
Big gulps, huh?
Big hopes, huh? Well, see you later.
All right, later.